going to tell you about CRAB. We're a 30-year-old nonprofit that was created in obviously 1991 by a gentleman who was paralyzed in a car accident. And like many people who get through most of their life being able-bodied, all of a sudden being paralyzed caused him to be depressed. His friends noticed it, and then they said, you know, you really like to sail, so we're going to take you back out sailing. So his name was Don Backey, and they took him out sailing. And when they got back, he said, this was the most fabulous experience that I could never have imagined. I didn't think I would be able to do this again, and I've got to do it for other people. So he did indeed do it and started it. And I met Don in 2012. At the time, I was working for Boeing, and we started the Wounded Warrior Sailing Regatta in Annapolis in 2012. And so we worked to bring warriors from Walter Reed and other areas in this region to come and sail and race against each other with their peers on board, their family members, friends, or even service dogs. So it was really a great event. We get Mission Barbecue to provide the lunch, and we have awards and medals to the top finishers in the sailing, and they just have a spectacular time. We've worked this with the U.S. Naval Academy in the past, pre-COVID, and we would have the Naval Academy band out in September to come and play all the fight songs of the respective services, and then the national anthem. And you're there on the water, and it is really an incredible experience to have. And our warriors, really, what they've said to us is, we can't believe you're doing this for us. And our response is, you're exactly who we want to do this for. And we're so elated that your competitive spirit gets to come back out and show itself as you compete against other warriors. And you're doing it as a team with your family or friends who normally, what I like to say, when you get invited to football games, basketball games, baseball games, NASCAR, whatever it is, you got four fannies facing forward, and you're passing the popcorn or a soda back and forth with your family members watching what's going on. When you're on a sailboat, you're facing each other, and somebody's handling the jib sheets, the main sheet, somebody's on the tiller, and it takes your whole family working together to make the boat sail and sail fast. So you get off the boat, and you're like, wow, we did that together. That was phenomenal. It was incredible. We want to do that again. So it's been amazing, the number of warriors who get off and say they want to buy a boat and get into boating. Some have said, oh, I want to bring my mother-in-law out here. And I wasn't sure how to take that, but they wanted to get more of their family out sailing, which was really wonderful to hear. But better than me describing it, I think Amanda's going to be able to tee up a video that tells you a little bit more about CRAB. So
I'm an active duty United States Marine, currently working with the Marine Corps Cyber Warfare Group. I did 9 years as a combat journalist in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I was in the Army 12 years.
I was in the Marine Corps. I was all through the Royal Mission Guard, and then I became an IDD dog handler.
It's a 92 Yankee with supply, and the reason that I'm now at the WTU is because I have some mental issues that's going on.
Sailing has really changed my life for the better.
After the military, we're always looking for that, same camaraderie. So when I started getting into sailing, I started finding that in the sailing. And it didn't matter how, if I didn't really know the person, we just clicked.
When I was recovering from my injuries, I actually took up rowing. Although I enjoyed it, the small boat I don't think it was for me. Getting on the bigger boat, I think, allows me to feel a little bit safer and enjoy it more. And plus, more people can fit on the boat. So if I go over, guess what? I'm not going by myself.
It's so comforting to feel like you're part of something again, even though if it's for a day or a momentary time, we're there for each other. And then, if we have a problem, hey, we got their contact information. Hey, I got a problem. And, always call a buddy. That way we could come out stronger.
The challenge is to overcome the obstacle and continue on the mission and continue moving forward.
I feel part of the team again.
I'm actually from DC, and to come up here in Annapolis and actually go out on the water for a first experience like this is exciting. I see parallels to my military life. it's a challenging task. And with all military branches, we all join for the challenge.
We first got the orders of what to do, and once we got the hang of it, we would work as a team to maneuver to do a turn left and right turns. So we work as a unit, Army and Navy, working together. You know, funny.
A couple times the boat was kind of going aside. I didn't know what to expect, so it was probably a little offsetting for me, but it was very good to do. I had a lot of fun.
There's like a buildup of tension when you're getting up to it. What's right, what's wrong, what's left, right, port, starboard bow, all that stuff that regular land people don't know about. However, it seems like it all comes together when there's that perfect moment when you're rounding the buoy and all the teamwork and all the lessons that we took in the last 20 minutes come together and mold into a perfect turn.
Reading the wind and everything like that, and learning basically boat tactics to try to win the race. You pick up on new little things of the older guy with a little trick or something up the sleeve, and you're like, oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that. So it looked like it was pretty hard and really difficult. Like they put in a lot of time to learn some of the tricks and the experience they picked up. So I was pretty impressed.
We're here today to help give to the wounded warriors and the recovering warriors an experience that they would never have without crab. We have our own boats. Freedom 20s are all designed to accommodate physically challenged and mentally challenged individuals. I had just recovered from my first wife's passing with cancer, and she had a lot of her services at Anne Arundel Medical Center here in town, and I felt that this was an opportunity for me to give something back, and I've been doing it ever since.
That just helps me get out and meet new people.
We had a couple of great Navy guys from the sailing team on our boat with us, and we learned how to run everything smoothly. I like the little boats in close proximity. It's very exciting.
And, it's always a pleasure to come out and, support the cause and to see the midshipmen that come through here, listen to their stories and tell them our stories, and it's always a great time.
I think it's definitely helped show what kind of person I want to be. I mean, these warriors have obviously been through so much, and they still come out every day, and they remind me that they're the reason that I am working so hard at the academy just to become the best leader and person that I can be, so I can help them out, and also I can have the same spirit and energy that they do. It was such a great experience. I never thought I'd had so much fun, but it was definitely by far the best memory I've had on these boats.
Frankly, I do what I do for this because that connectedness that we have in the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, goes on long after we serve on active duty. It's about the ships we sail in, and some of those ships are leadership and followership and comradeship, but it's also fellowship and it's also friendship.
That's just the Recovering Warriors Sailing Regatta that we do twice a year in May and September. We also have family sail events during the summer and also group sales. So I guess based on what I've heard here though, some of you may want to start businesses, and if you're interested in a nonprofit and you'd like to start one, it's obviously a nice thing to come and be a volunteer at CRAB and learn how to be a volunteer skipper or crew. And we do a lot of training. And then from there, if you move somewhere else in the country and you'd like to start an adaptive boating program, we could help you there with providing you the materials and the information to have a good founding, operations procedures, everything else, and help you with your fundraising to be able to accomplish that goal and spread the joy that sailing brings to people. As I said in an editorial recently, that this past year, a lot of focus on donations were on food since there was so much of food shortage going on with people. And CRAB ends up being food for the soul because we're not going to be competing against food or housing or a job. But once you as a warrior have that and you're looking for other things in life to do and to enjoy and express yourself, then you're coming to Crab so that you can be outdoors, enjoy the beautiful Chesapeake Bay where we are, and meet some great people who have a similar affinity as you do for sailing and enjoying the physiological benefits it brings to you because you are exercising and communing with nature. Boating center. So after 30 years of operating at Sandy Point State Park, we've outgrown it, and we got the state to give us $1 million. We got the county to give us 1.3 million. We got the city to give us 500,000, and we were able to acquire a marina in Annapolis, and we are now tearing the house down, tearing the commercial building down, tearing the fixed docks out, and we're going to replace everything with a state-of-the-art adaptive learning center. And then the docks will be floating docks, 8 feet wide, and state-of-the-art ADA with Hoyer lifts and transfer boxes on the docks to get guests in our boats. And as well, there's going to be an 80-foot T-head on the dock, and people who have their own boats, who may not have been able to get family members or friends on their boat, would now be able to come to this adaptive boating center and use our equipment and our volunteers to load a family member or a friend onto their boat and then go out boating or sailing and go out and enjoy it. And in addition, we're going to get a pontoon boat. So someone in a wheelchair who just doesn't want to leave their wheelchair will be able to roll onto the boat and go behind the helm, and we'll have a joystick so they will be able to control the boat and be able to take it out sailing, crabbing, fishing, whatever you want, and enjoy it and have a great time. So we're going to have a wider diversity of boats. We're even going to get the radio controlled boats that are about 2.5 to 3 feet long. So imagine a row of 10 warriors in wheelchairs there with their remote controlling sailboats sailing off that dock and racing. There's no limit to what we're going to be able to do. We'll have yoga in the building for warriors. My gosh, the area is going to be so big, you'll almost be able to do indoor ice hockey. Well, the money we got from the state, the first $1 million, we lobbied and got the governor to give us $1 million. He put it in his capital improvement program budget. The other money that we got from the county and the city is actually what's called program open space money in Maryland. And when you buy a home here, you pay a 0.5% tax, and that money goes into a fund to buy open land. And so what they did was use it to buy this property to keep it open for people with disabilities. And that was our biggest challenge that we had because the Department of Natural Resources approves it. And I don't want to turn anybody's hair gray here or have it fall out, but it took us a year to convince the lawyers at DNR that this public money needed to be used to provide access for people with disabilities and wounded warriors. But we did get that money. It took us a year, and we're working now to get waterway improvement funds to help pay for the dock, and that's money that comes out of DNR. We do write a lot of grants. We generated about $130,000 in grant money last year, ranging from the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation to another organization you all should know about. It's called Move United. And Move United is an umbrella organization that provides funding and support to nonprofits who are serving people with disabilities, not just wounded warriors, but all people with disabilities. So they do everything from supporting skiing to mountain climbing, parachuting, sailing, things of that nature. So they're out there. And then we have one of our regattas is one of our big fundraisers. It's open. We had 80 boats in it this past year. We weren't able to have the party, which normally attracts 400 to 500 people. So it's a huge, huge event, but we raised more money from that event without a party this past year than ever before.